and during your time at OHVA. Advisors are basically like your homeroom teacher. They're going to keep track of your attendance. They're going to let you know, hey, maybe you're not, completing things sort of deal. You're behind on hours. Maybe you've forgotten to log hours, which is fine. It happens. But they're like your homeroom teacher. They're going to be keeping track of your attendance, help you with any questions that don't pertain to certain subjects. Basically there to help you. So I'm going to talk about what's the difference between contacting your advisor and contacting your content teacher. So when it comes to your content teacher, so ELA, so that's me, math, social studies, science. When do you contact them? So when you have a question about an assignment, quiz, lesson, anything pertaining to the content, or you're going to be missing class, you contact me, you contact your teachers, letting them know. So that could be, don't ask me questions about science. I know I can teach science, but Mrs. Darian is going to be a lot better with that. And same with like Mrs. Workentine with history. And definitely don't be contacting me with math questions because you'll get it completely wrong. If you contact me, I'm horrible at math. But that's who you contact. But then when it comes to your advisors, when do you contact them? So when you have questions about changing your learning coach, so maybe you've got mom or dad as your learning coach and grandma is going to take over instead. That's who you would contact. Changing your address. So moving happens. It does occasionally happen where you move somewhere else. Contact your advisor. Issues with materials not getting it on time. So if you still don't have your computer, you still don't have all your class materials, contact your advisor. Adding PE, music, foreign language to your courses, contact your advisor. The one thing that is always going to stay the same, no matter what, is going to be when you're going to miss live class connects. Make sure that you are emailing not only your advisor, but also your teachers as well. With ever classes, or if you're going to be missing all the classes, emailing all your teachers. So making sure you do that. All right, so let's try this pen tool activity. I think what I'm going to do real quick, because I don't know if we're going to be able to do it this way. So what I'm going to do is, I got to load something real quick so that way we're able to get access to this particular section here. So what I'm going to do is as I'm explaining this, is we're getting this loaded up. So this is a map of Ohio. It's broken up into counties. So you kind of have to think of where your county is located. It's not going to show the city exactly, but what I want to know is where are you located within the state? So what you're going to do is you're going to have tools here in just a moment where you're going to be able to kind of write on the screen. So you're going to have like a pen tool where like I'm up here in Delaware County. So I would put like a pen tool that's right there. Oop, that's not what I wanted. And you'll be able to put that pen mark on there here in just a moment. So hang on, it's still loading. But just kind of be looking at the map as you're looking at this right now and saying like, oh, I'm in this county, I may be in this county. Just kind of thinking of the counties there. Still converting. Hang on a second. So again, it doesn't show the city. It's just going to be showing the county. So we think about the county. There's some cities that are located in there, though. So you would have access to that as well. All right, now we got this located. And I'll just skip through super quick. There we go. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you pen tools here. What you're going to do is just mark. You don't need to write your name. I wouldn't write your name on there just because we don't. That's kind of a personal information thing. But I'm going to show you. You should have tools available at this point to do a whiteboard. So here we go. Oh, hang on. It's not giving me the pen tools anymore. It used to have that. I know. I'm not sure what happened there. It gave pen tools last time when I had this, and I'm not sure why it's not showing that now. Oh, there we go. Here. You may be able to get access to it now. There we go. See, we're learning along the way. So I'll mark mine too here. Very cool. We got some people all over. So we got some in Franklin County, so Columbus area, up in Cuyahoga, Cleveland. You need to get Max. We've got Butler County, Defiance up there. My sister-in-law is actually from Defiance. Oh, that's cool. Warren County, or not Warren County, Brown. So some people down in Cincinnati. I'm not sure why we're just drawing boxes now. Let's be respectful, everybody. I know we're trying pen tools for the first time, but let's make sure we're following directions. Awesome. All right, I'm going to take away the pen tools now from you all, but great job. So that is really cool to see. So what's really cool about OHVA is that we are located all over the state, not just in one part of the state, but we're located all over. So you know me, I'm up here in Delaware County area. You know, I got some neighbors here down in Franklin County, you know, up in Cleveland. We've got some down in Cincinnati, in the Athens County area, or in Athens, Ohio. So all over the place, right? That's really, really cool that we have that. So it's neat that as an OHVA community, we can have people from all over the state come together for one class. We all have that same connection when it comes to ELA class, which is awesome. All right, I'm going to go back to my screen here. So you are all a part of Group A. So Group A is what you're kind of associated with. So that means you're going to be following this particular schedule. So you have math class first. So you have it from 9 to 9:45. Mrs. Allport probably talked about small groups, and those won't be starting until about September 7th. And those are just invite only. You're not going to have that small group session every single day unless you are super duper far behind, which we don't want you to be. We want you to be ahead. And we'll talk about what that means to be ahead exactly in this particular orientation. So small group sessions, if needed, are there. You'll then have ELA. Lunch is from 11:30 to 12. You'll then have history, science, and then small group at the end if you need it as well. For this week for ELA, so today you're completing that orientation. So you're in that class right now. Welcome to online learning. You've completed it basically. You're in the class, so that'll be check, done. Tuesday and Wednesday, you're going to be map testing with Mrs. Allport. So she probably already discussed that with you as well. And you probably got an email from her. You're going to be working with her to complete the math and reading portion of the map test when you have completed those. Thursday and Friday, this is kind of what I suggest. So Thursday, you can navigate OMS and watch how-to videos on how to basically turn in assignments, how to do the plan tab. I'll show you where that's located here in a moment. On those. And I've also got something called Flipgrid. Now, some of you, if you've been in previous schools, maybe use Flipgrid. Some of you may be like, well, what is that? We'll talk about what that is specifically here later on in the lesson, but there's an optional Flipgrid activity that you can actually earn 5 bonus points right off the bat, which is basically a quiz grade. But that's your class structure for that. Oop. All right, ELA Class Connect. So Neuro is actually a new Class Connect format. We have not used Neuro before. We used to have Blackboard, so you may have used Blackboard for your classes last year if you were part of OHVA. This is all new, so be patient with us, teachers. We're still learning this whole new system as well. And there may be times that you teach us something new with Neuro. So it is a whole new process. But please make sure you're coming to class on time. The classroom will lock 5 minutes after classroom has started. It's a middle school policy that we have to follow. So if you're going to be running late or need to gain access to the room, make sure you email your teacher and letting them know. So, for example, if you're going to be running late to ELA class. Now, if it's like, you know, because we're from 10:15 to 11, if you're emailing me at like 10:45, probably I'm not going to allow you access into the room, and I'll just say, hey, just watch the recording, because at that point there's only 15 minutes left. Then make sure to please be respectful and ready to participate in class. I will have chat open and available. I will probably have camera and microphones on just so you can get on and say hi, but please make sure that you're being respectful when chat is open, and have those readings completed ahead of time. There will be audio recordings of all the readings. So if you're somebody that's like me, where I'm like, I need to focus and I basically have the book in front of me and I also have to listen to the audio recording, there'll be that option there too. But just making sure you're prepared and ready to go for Class Connects. Because we have 45 minutes in Class Connects. So my main focus is going to be not just, reading, but also answering questions and doing some comprehension things. So that way, when we get to the quiz, it's like, boom, we know how to answer these questions. Cameras. So cameras are new, especially this year. We had them with Blackboard, but it would get laggy. I wasn't able to see a lot of people's faces. So it's nice to be able to see a lot of people's faces now. So it's one of the many perks. Now, this does give us the chance to be able to see your faces. Like I can see Nevaeh and Yvonne's face. I love seeing your faces. It's awesome. But, you may not feel comfortable getting on camera, and that's fine. You don't need to. We love to be able to see your face. We love it. So get on camera if you feel comfortable. Use your microphone to answer the question. Don't be, getting on microphone being like, hey, I know this TikTok dance now, especially during class. Say hi to your classmates on camera and microphone at the beginning of class. You can easily do that. Say hi to everybody. Be like, hey, what's up, Nevaeh? How's it going? Did you see that new TV show or something? I don't know. Something like that. Don't share personal information. This is so crucial. I will keep saying this constantly throughout this presentation because every year I get somebody that goes, oh, hey, dude, let's play each other in Roblox. Here's my username. Can't do that. Can't share personal information. It not only gets me in trouble, it gets you in trouble as well. So please don't do that. Basically, there's a process that you'll basically go to the school counselor, and there are basically forms that your learning coach and the learning coach of the student that you want to connect with that they have to fill out in order to get that access to that information. But we can't just be typing in gamer tags or our address or anything like that just at random. So please make sure that you are not sharing personal information. And don't be inappropriate. You know that, right? Usernames are personal information though. It can get access to, you basically are making contact with someone. So that's why usernames are personal information, because you can still get in contact with someone. So even like emails, for example, can't share that because it's personal information. But make sure, you'll hear me say 6th grade superstars all the time. We don't want to be 6th grade lame stars. That means people that kind of just get on camera and act all goofy, or, we lose privileges because of that. So let's be 6th grade superstars. All right, ELA requirements. So as a heads up, units are going to close 2 weeks after a unit test. So typically our unit test, the part 2 portion of it, is on Mondays. And typically there's always going to be something in the plan tab that'll say, hey, this unit closes, and I'll send you out reminders as well. Hopefully you're not really focused on that, because you should have your work completed by then anyways. But just in case, it's going to close 2 weeks after. After your unit has closed, it cannot be reopened. So please make sure you're keeping, ahead of schedule. You get 3 attempts for quizzes and 3 attempts for the unit tests. What's different about this is that the quizzes, I will grant additional attempts if you fill out a study guide, which we'll talk about study guides when we get closer to quizzes and when we get closer to the actual lessons that we're going to be completing. I'm not going to go over it now because it'll be a lot of information. But there'll be study guides at the beginning of the lessons that you can fill out, not only to get that additional attempt. It's only 1 additional attempt that I'll give out. But then also it helps because you can fill out that study guide. You can use it on quizzes and exams. So make sure you use those. And then 3 attempts for unit test. I won't be giving out any additional attempts. Once you've used those 3 attempts, that's it. And what's great about that too is, you get basically, it'll take the highest score. So if you are worried, oh my gosh, my last attempt wasn't that great, I got a C on it, and I got a B before that, it'll take that B. So it's not going to take your final attempt, it'll take your highest attempt. Taking notes is encouraged. Use those study guides in the beginning of the lessons. They are super helpful for you. Again, you can use it on quizzes and exams, so take advantage of it. Read, read, read. Reading required readings before class. Audio recordings will also be available as well. I kind of already touched base on that. And then take advantage of extra credit opportunities. We'll talk about Flipgrid here in just a moment, but that Flipgrid opportunity is huge because it gets you that 5 bonus points that basically cover a quiz grade. So if you kind of do poorly on a quiz, that'll help to bump it up. All right, so let's talk about the OMS system. So this is brand new for basically everyone. So it's not anything new. So Phoenix, for example, your question about do you need to complete that ORN 10 class? Yes. Everybody has to complete it, even if you were here last year, because OMS is brand new to all students because of the elementary school doesn't use this program. So let's talk about the home page and how that's structured. So you would have, and it's a little bit different just because I have extra links as a teacher, but on your homepage, you've got this little icon here that is a like letter opening up. That's how you get access to your email. So if you need access at any point to kind of click on that, then you can easily, access email that way. When you click on this little chain link, it's going to give you access to all different tools. So you can get access to, Big Universe Library. There's a couple other access points or different resources that you can access to. So that's where you can get access to additional resources that K-12 Stride provides. When you click on your name, it'll get access to your account. There's a help center and then log out. This account, what's nice is that you can change like your profile picture, any personal information as well that you need to change in there, or any account information. That's where you would log in there. But you're not really going to use those on a daily basis. You're going to use these two things instead. So you're going to be using your schedule and classes. You probably clicked on schedule today to be able to get access to this class. When you click on it, there's typically Class Connect schedules there. I know right now it says that there's nothing, but that's where you get access to your Class Connects. It'll also show on there too any assignments that need to be completed for the day. So it'll show, especially for today, I think it says the orientation. I think it also has the Flipgrid and everything else. That's where you can get all of that located there. When you click on classes, that's how you gain access to your classes. Pretty self-explanatory. Tech tips. Make sure you are completing your work in your student account, not your learning coaches. So if you are currently somebody that does not have a student account set up, please make sure you get that set up as soon as possible. Or if you just log into your learning coaches account just because, you want to make sure you're logging into your student account, because any work that's completed in the learning coach account is not going to give you a grade. So please make sure you are completing your work in your student account. Please, please, please. I've had a lot of students that have gone through basically half the year saying, I completed all these quizzes. Why is it not showing up with a grade? And it's because they were doing it through their learning coach account. This number right here, I would recommend writing this down, putting it somewhere, maybe taking a screenshot, taking your cell phone, taking a picture, writing a note. This is for tech support. So if you ever have your computer just start shutting down automatically or anything like that, please, please, please make sure that you are using that number. Right now at this point, they're super helpful. I mean, I've used them multiple times, but they're going to be pretty busy because there's a lot of people that get computers that have been sitting there for 3 months over the summer and then try to start it back up and it doesn't work. So they are pretty much they're going to be a little bit behind right now, but they'll be able to help you out. So that's a great number to use. We highly recommend using Chrome for Neuro. I would highly recommend using Chrome for that. Firefox would be a second choice, but Safari and Internet Explorer, or I forget what it's called now. I don't even think it's Internet Explorer anymore. Aren't compatible with OMS or Neuro, so try not to use those. Make sure you're using Chrome or Firefox. All right, so ELA class expectations. I'm going to move myself over here. Always check your email and announcements under the announcements tab. I'm actually going to show you real quick what that looks like here, just so you can kind of, nope, that's not what I wanted. Here's what I'll do. Oh, goodness. Hang on. Whoa. Sorry, everybody. That was a little funky. Let's see if it'll work now. There we go. Okay. Sorry if it was like going all ballistic. But here, let me get real quick the ELA class. So here's our classroom page right here. And the announcement section. So you probably read that announcement today. Hopefully you did. If you didn't, totally fine. You can read it on your own time during lunch or something like that. But every single week I'll post an announcement with the classroom calendar, stuff like that, important announcements. I would be checking it every single day because there are times that maybe I won't you know, showcase. I won't, or sometimes I'll forget something in class. I'll post in the announcements tab just so you have that as well. So make sure you're checking that on a daily basis. All right. Keeping up to date with the plan tab. So that's another thing too that's super helpful. Let me get that back up there just so you can see that plan tab. So the plan tab's right here. It actually gives you a calendar view of everything. So hang on a second. Hopefully this loads here soon. And this is super helpful because then it'll give you all your classes listed. So here we have that first day of school. You have the optional course introduction scavenger hunt, the extra credit Flipgrid, and then map testing for the rest of the week. So this plan tab is super helpful for you as well. Helps you keep up to date with assignments. Have questions on how to turn in an assignment, complete a quiz, or something else? It is normally answered in the how-to section. So if I go into that how-to, which is under content, when you go into content, there's going to be a couple of things that are going to be helpful to you. And this is how you're going to get access to your lessons as well. So, it'll load here quickly. The content's going to be your best friend. That's how you're going to get access to your lessons. So here, you have that course materials, super helpful. Recommend going through this. It has our syllabus, the contact information. The how-to section has how to use the content tab, which is what we're using right now. Plan, edit a PDF, and how to submit assignments. Course introduction, this is helpful because there's even like a little student study guide that you can use to be able to get access to that. And then Flipgrid's the other one that we'll talk about here actually in a few minutes, or not a few minutes, but here shortly on how to complete that extra credit assignment. And this session is recorded. I now have it recording. So if you need to basically watch this again, you'll be able to click on the link, the class link, and be able to watch this again if I'm going way too fast and you need to go back through the information again. All right, so Flipgrid extra credit. So this is where what I was just talking about. So I'm actually going to pull this back up. So throughout the year, you're going to be having the opportunity to answer some questions through Flipgrid and earn extra credit along the way. So more details on this, on how to complete your first extra credit assignment, are all on OMS. So I'm going to show you where that's located here, just so you can complete that first Flipgrid activity. So if you go into content and you know, basically go through Flipgrid. So here is a video that's going to showcase how to get into Flipgrid. There's a specific link that you're going to have to click on, and then also how to make your own video. So not going to answer any questions on how to do that because it explains everything in this video. You also have your class Flipgrid link. You're not going to have access to the other sections, but there should just only be one link that you get there. And extra credit, you get, like I said, 5 bonus points. The one first assignment that's in there, actually, it's optional, so you don't have to do Flipgrid. It's not like you are forced to do it. I'm not going to like hold you against your will if you don't do it. It's optional. But the first one's an introduction activity. So if you want to do that today, that'll be your opportunity to do that. Grading scale might be a little bit different than what the middle school uses. It's not, Flipgrid's not a social media app. So it's just for school. Yeah. So it's not like a Facebook type of thing. That's a very good question. You're going to be logging in through your student ID. So it's not like you have to give out your email information or anything like that. We purposely do that because, again, that's personal information. So we don't want any apps to know that. But grading for the middle school, very self-explanatory. You've got your A, B, C, D, you know, all the way down to F. It'll show your grade typically in the grades tab as well. So this just kind of shows it's a little bit different than what you would use in elementary school. Units will close, like I said before. So this means that if you are, it's very important to stay up to date on assignments and quizzes. Hang on a second. So this means that it's very important to stay up to date on assignments and quizzes. You know, basically use that plan tab to be able to do that. Again, Doug, that's all answered in the, that's going to be all answered in that video. and also in the assignment. So I'm not going to answer Flipgrid questions because that's all in that Flipgrid category. But yeah, that'll answer everything in there. Remember, units are going to close 2 weeks after the due date. So please make sure that you're completing all of those assignments so that way you're not, so far behind and having to rush 2 weeks after, the units closed, because those units are not going to reopen. So please make sure you're completing those on time. And just ask if you need help and stay on top of things from the beginning, and you're just going to have a great year. Use that plan tab. I love using my planner. My planner is like my best friend. Get yourself a planner. I know Michael's, Joann's, even like Amazon has planners. There's free printable planners online. Yeah, even Miss Pickett has one too. I mean, planners are life. They're literally life. Get one. That way you can stay organized, because I am so disorganized sometimes that it's helpful to have that. Daily expectations. Make sure that you are completing your work in your student account and no other Learning Coach account or anything like that. Check the daily plan to make sure you know what lessons are completed. Make sure your learning coaches are entering attendance daily, so that way you're not getting those truancy emails. And then check your email daily. Pretty self-explanatory. Communication with teachers and students. Basically, when it's just some things to keep in mind. Make sure you're respecting the privacy and wishes of your fellow students and teachers. Maybe you get somebody that comes in that's like, hey, I'm just not having a really good day. It's kind of a struggle day. Instead of pushing them and being like, well, why aren't you having a really good day? Respect their privacy. Maybe they don't want to share. That's okay. Flaming, spamming, bullying, or other unwanted contacts, including appropriate messaging, content, or attachments will be considered a breach of this policy. Infractions may result in disciplinary action by the school administration. That's directly from your student handbook. So making sure we are not spamming in chat and putting a bunch of like random things in there, or bullying, or being disrespectful to teachers and students, in email, that kind of stuff. It is a break of school policy. So just make sure we're being nice to each other. Let's be respectful. And please, again, make sure we're not sharing that personal information. There's a way that you can exchange that contact information with that. I know, I wish I could just block the bullies. That would be nice, right? I agree. Face-to-face events. So I'm going to open up here real quick the chat here in just a moment, because I'm going to send out a couple of links to you. So face-to-face events, what's really cool about this is that you get access to face-to-face events this year. Woohoo! COVID is still a thing. Yes, I know, but these face-to-face events they do a great job with making sure they're following COVID policy, all that kind of stuff. So if you click on this link, there'll be a bunch of links that show different face-to-face events. The biggest one in particular is the back to school picnic. Oh, we're not going to be typing in chat right now, everybody. Awesome. And I think I'm going to accidentally send it in the wrong thing. Let me send it in the room chat. There we go. So there's that link there. The back to school picnic, September 10th. And basically, you can get access to that, and there's a sign up for that as well. Ms. Pickett and I will actually be at the Westerville one. So if you're in the Central Ohio area and you want to meet us, we'll be there. So super cool. Let me see. I think there's another link that's going to be coming up here shortly. Okay, everybody, I have chat open just to send out links, but we're not just typing in chat. So let's make sure that if you can't hear things, you're going to probably need to refresh your page and look at your settings and all that kind of stuff. Additional supports. So hang on a second. Supports. So you should have been sent in basically sent a welcome packet with all sorts of information that pertains to the academic calendar, some quick facts, all that kind of stuff. So that would be basically where you can find that. Ria, I would recommend turning up your volume as well, again, with your settings, or you need to contact tech support. And that's okay if you don't want to go to face-to-face events. That's totally fine. All right. K-12 National Student and Family Programming. So what's really cool about this is there's the opportunity to be able to be a part of clubs and organizations. A lot of them are having a virtual setting there, or virtual settings for things, but If you want to be a part of some clubs, there's a lot of different clubs that are available, not only locally, but nationally as well. And I'll send out that link too. I think I'm going to have to close room chat here because we're getting very distracted right now. All sorts of different clubs. All sorts of different clubs. Art clubs, sports clubs, there's science clubs. You could even start your own club. Like maybe you want to start a Tea Party for Robots club. I don't know. You know, you can start your own club sort of deal. There's many different programs that are available as well. So that link there will get you access to those student clubs. And I don't know particularly, I don't know exactly what type of clubs there are. So if you ask me that question, I know there's just a few examples of like sport clubs and that kind of stuff. But anyways. All right. So if you have any questions or anything like that, this is my phone number that's listed here with the extension, my extension 7328. All teachers have this number here for the most part if their phones are working, but there's that extension there as well. Email is best though, and I'm actually going to close chat because we're getting a little distracted there. Email is best though, so that jclemens@ohva.org is going to be the best way to contact me. I have my phone with email access to it, so I have my email linked to it. So if you need to use that, that's the best point of contact. And I'll typically get back within 24 to 48 hours. But email is best if you need that extension. But also at the bottom of my email, typically my signature has that extension there. All right, I went through that pretty quick, but again, that recording is going to be available for you. So if you need to get access to the class link again, you'll just be able to click on it and be able to access this recording. But at this point, if you don't have any questions, you're free to go. But if you have questions, stick around. We'll answer those. I'll also have chat and microphone or just microphone open. And if you have any questions, ask them either in that questions and answers section or get on microphone. But otherwise, everybody, you're free to go if you don't have any questions. And I will see you all next Monday for our very first lesson for ELA. Have a great day, everybody.